Hey, this is Matt from SpeedScale. I wanted to talk about one of our main observability features, which is the traffic viewer. Now, the traffic viewer solves two main problems if you're an engineer. The first one is it allows you to see into another environment like production to see exactly what's going on. Now, this complements a production monitoring system in that it doesn't do things like alerting, but it does do a lot of things that your production monitoring system won't. Now, the second problem it solves is that it allows engineers to look in and actually debug applications without impacting them. So everything I'm going to show here doesn't change the actual application, but it allows you to see what's going on at a much greater detail than you would have normally. Now, everything I'm showing here was instrumented using one of our sidecars. It does not require OpenTelemetry or any other kind of application changes. This is purely done from the network. Now, first thing you'll notice is that I'm monitoring the notification service. Now you can imagine that I'm an engineer that would be maintaining the service and trying to figure out what's going on with it. The second thing you'll notice is that I can select a particular time frame, like the last 15 minutes. You'll also notice that this view is normally updating. This is what we call a live tail, or a continuous stream of all the traffic coming in from production. Now, we're focused on the notification service, so we're going to be able to see all the inbound and outbound traffic. And these graphs just show over time how much traffic is going in and out. The second thing you'll notice is the service map down here, which is a view of all of the clients that are calling into the notification service and all the backend services that it's calling out to. Now remember, this was assembled without any kind of developer intervention. We get this from the network by decoding the traffic. And you'll see we decode common systems like Gmail, but also less common systems that we've never seen before. Anything HTTP or gRPC or Postgres or MySQL or Kafka, all these protocols are supported. And you'll see it in these graphs. So instantly here I can see what my app relies on, and it's not made up and it's not made by humans. It's actually what's really going on. Now, if I scroll down a little bit, I get into more of a detailed view of each request and response that is going in and out of the application. If it's out, that means it's calling out to an external system. If it's in, it means it's a client that is calling into the notification service. Now, I can go and I can filter this traffic and change it at the source, but more importantly, I'm going to go and take a look into one of these particular transactions. Now, I notice that when I click on one, a sidebar opens up and I see more details about the transaction. We're already past anything a normal observability tool would do because we're actually showing you the payloads. This is the kind of information you need to really debug a problem. We show the request and response payloads, we show the headers, and then we also show cookies and then other special information, including detailed network information going through the application. This is enough to fully replay the transaction. Now, there's one other neat trick that we can do that is very helpful for engineers trying to debug production, and that is we can isolate a particular client or user. We do that by using this filter system up here. We click on Session ID, and then we can select a Session ID. Now, Session IDs are constructed by SpeedScale automatically. You can also pinpoint ones, but most common sort of login systems are recognized. What happens here when I filter down to a particular user called Grace Morgan is I see just the transactions coming from that API client. Now, I can go and package this and replay it and create a simulation environment around this, but the first step is always observability. I hope this was helpful, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions.